Breaking news. You're not ugly. You just take really crusty and horrible pictures. But that's fine because today I'm going to be showing you how to take your picture from looking like this to looking something like this. You're welcome. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Success, the Success Carter, and if this is my first time on your screen, please don't make it your last. I'll be glad for you to join the fam, like and subscribe to me, and if it's not, welcome back, OG. Today I'll be talking about something really interesting, and I'll be taking you guys on how to take fire pictures. How to take that picture that, when you finish taking it, your friends, your family, and even your foe be like, hey, she snapped. He snapped. What's going on here? So I'm going to be taking you on basic tips and tricks on how to better elevate your picture gains. I'll be taking you on how to use your phone. I mean, when you grab your phone, what are you supposed to do? What are you not supposed to do when you're taking pictures of someone, on where your picture is being taken by someone. I'll also be taking you on basic tips and tricks, for lighting. Where should you be when the light is on this side? I mean, just basic things that you should know about lighting, because it's actually very important. And I'll also be taking you on my favorite part, which is the art of posing. What to do, the secrets that the influencers don't want you to know. I'll be spilling all the tea and all the secrets in this video. So if that's something you're interested in, keep on watching. I should first give this mini disclaimer and say that I have not always been this, confident about my picture taking skills. I've not always been in this space where I've been like, oh, I know what to do when I'm in front of the camera. I'm a professional. It just took years of taking notes, years of learning, years of practicing, and years of watching like reality TV shows like American Next Top Model and The Face. When that judging portion of the show, when the judge will share their opinion on what to do and what not to do to better the photos, I was always taking notes. So it was this little bits and tits and tats that I gathered together, and it has worked for me since then. And so why not share with you guys? So guys, my first tip for actually taking your pictures on your phone is to always shoot your pictures on portrait mode. And now I know this is a bit like, and people will look at me like, are you all right? But yes, shooting both your full-length pictures and your half-shot pictures on portrait mode. And I will tell you why. When you take your pictures in portrait mode, it just tends to make you bigger, make you bolder. Everything, what you want is in focus, and nothing really gets lost in translation. I just find that, when you take your pictures in portrait mode, especially when you're taking your pictures to showcase your outfit or something that, you want to showcase in the picture, it's just, a much clearer form of conveying that. Now, you might have to shift back to take a full-length pictures using portrait mode, but if you can, I would always suggest that you do, because the results would be and it's just I just find that it improves your picture taking quality. It just obviously looks like you've had your picture taken professionally, even though you have not. Now, let's not even go far. Let's look at some examples. Now, we have this picture. I'm not saying that this picture is a bad picture or anything is wrong with this picture, but when you look at this picture, I am really not the first thing on my outfit. It's not the first thing you notice about this picture. There are other elements of this picture that are fighting for attention. And when you're taking an outfit picture, you don't want a comment to be like, oh, where did you take this picture? Rather than, where is the outfit from? It kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm not saying this picture is bad, but let's take a look at this picture. Now, this picture, I'm trying to showcase my outfit, and you can literally see like that is in focus. Like you can literally see that is what I'm trying to showcase. There's no tutorial around. There's no, that is in focus, and this just looks bolder and better. And to be honest, I just feel like it just really looks clean and crisp. to take your pictures on the portrait mode. My next point would be to always remember to center your subjects. Now, who is your subject in this instance? You are the subject. So if you have someone taking your pictures for you, you should always tell the person to center you. At the end of the day, we didn't come to see the background. We didn't come to see, the sky. We came to see you. So you should be the center and you should be the focus of the picture. So you should always learn to like center your pictures. Always measure the space between this side and this side, and just measure your picture to make sure that you are always in the middle and you're always the center of focus. Another tip I'll always give people when you're trying to better elevate your picture taking game is to always remember to leave headspace. This is one tip that I personally just think should be common knowledge, but clearly is not. So when you're taking your picture, just always remember to leave a little bit of space above your head, because I really just find those shots that are super close and just shots that really just fill up the entire picture to be a bit weird. I can't even lie. It's just really weird. I'm like, why would anybody want to do that? But you should always remember to always leave space. I don't care if you're taking like full body pictures or you're taking half body pictures. Just remember to always leave, space above your head. This would help you in case you're trying to further edit your pictures and maybe you're trying to crop out a certain section. It will already help you since you already have space that is left. Also, if you're posting on apps like Instagram, you know that when you post on Instagram, it chops out a certain portion of the picture, right? You do not want what is chopped out to be your head. So always try to leave, enough head space to give you more room and options to work with in case you decide to edit or in case you decide to post on Instagram. If you're like a beginner or you really don't know how to work, your phone camera, I'll maybe suggest that you use the grid feature on an iPhone. And I know I might be talking about an iPhone a little too much, but that's the device I use and that's what, I am knowledgeable on. So please bear with me if you're an Android user. So I find that the grid feature is very beginner friendly and it will help you, to see where your subject to be and, how much space to leave in your headspace. So that feature is very underrated, but I find that feature very, very beginner friendly and you might want to check that out. And you can turn that on in your camera settings on an iPhone. Just go to your camera setting and just find the grid feature and just turn it on. I just probably think that the grid feature is your best friend, especially when you're like a beginner in photography or taking pictures. One really important tip I always give to people while taking pictures or while they are taking my pictures is to always remember to slightly tilt your phone upwards. Now, I don't have any, I think I have something. Yeah, let's take this for an example. If you're taking your pictures, I want you to slightly tilt upwards your pictures, when you're taking it. And I find that what this does is that it gives you height, especially if you're not that tall in pictures. It gives you height and it just gives you that statuette look. Now, let's say, let's look at this picture for example. This picture was not properly taken. I'm not saying the picture is bad, but it could be better. Now look at this picture. This picture was taken with a tilted, a tilted up, type vibe from my phone, and you can already tell that this picture just makes me look tall and statuesque, even though I'm really not that tall. So just slightly tilting your phone upwards can make a whole lot of difference when it comes to like picture taking. Next up will be lighting tips. And I find out that people really just don't care about lighting, to be quite honest. And let me tell you something. It actually makes a whole lot of difference. Lighting can literally make or mar your pictures. Like I've gotten compliments or I've gotten like, questions like, oh, do you take your pictures professionally? And I'm just like, no, I take it on my phone. Even when I was using an iPhone 8 Plus back then, people would be like, oh, did you take a picture with an iPhone 12? I was like, no, I did not. And you know why? The lighting in my picture was great, great enough to sell the illusion that I was using an expensive gadget to take my pictures, even though I really wasn't. So lighting can actually take your picture from literally one level to another. So you should definitely be paying attention to your lighting whenever you go out to take your pictures, because I mean, it can literally elevate your picture so much that your friends would be like, what's going on? Tell us the secrets to your beauty. So the first lighting tips I want to give you is to always find your light. Now, the sun is literally, I mean, one of our basic friends when it comes to lighting is maybe the main source of light. Because I stay in Lagos, Nigeria, so the sun is usually the main source of light, and I always prefer taking my pictures outside because they just give off that profesh look. So I find that the sun is literally one of my basic friends or basic source of light. So what you want to do with the sun is to always find spots where the sun is hitting. Never ever turn your back away from the sun. So what are you now doing now? Why are you now out here taking the pictures if you're going to diss the main source of your light? I don't understand. What are you trying to do? So you should always find your light, find spots that the sun is hitting, and just take your pictures there. It will make a huge difference to your pictures. And I always get asked this question that, oh, when is the best time to take your pictures? Me, I would say like from the hours of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. is literally your best friend when it comes to taking pictures. And what I have found out is that during the hours of maybe 12 to 3, the sun is super duper harsh. So it might just be really complicated, especially if you're like a beginner. You have to toggle with, overexposure, that shadowy weird cast on your face. And quite frankly, if you're a beginner, you really don't want to be dealing with these things. So I just really say that, 4 to 6 p.m., because I live in Lagos, Nigeria, is the best time to take your pictures. Because what I found out is that the sun is really mild at that point, and it literally just gives you the sun kiss fantasy. Yes, that's what it's called, the golden hour. It just gives you that golden effect that you'd be like, Shayna needed this, Shayna the beauty I get to this. So we always want to take our pictures at that time because I just find the lighting to be a bit better, and we always want to take our pictures at that time. Another tip that is really important, and I always really tell my friends, is to always shoot your pictures against a background. This just really saves you a lot of stress, especially if you don't know where the light is coming from or hitting. You just might want to take your pictures, against a backdrop. It just looks better, and the light really just looks coordinated when you take your pictures, against a backdrop, as opposed to, maybe taking like a sky picture and you're taking these pictures for hours, then you now go home, you're now saying, oh, the light wasn't really great here. That situation is quite funny and tricky because if you had just shot behind or against a backdrop, you would have easily, figured out where the lighting was. So I'll always say you should always shoot your pictures against a backdrop. Moving on to my favorite part of this video, which is posing tips. I have a few tips to also, share with you guys today. My first tip here is to always remember to move. Move. And especially if you're not like a professional or if you're like a beginner, and especially if maybe you find picture taking a bit weird, just keep on moving. I promise you will get the shot. Now, when you keep on moving, it does two things to you. It gives you different options. It gives you variations of different movements you're making, and that will in turn like give you more options to pick from when you're finally making your final selection for what to post. Also, I also figured that when you move, it captures candid moments that turns out to now be greater than what you were actually posing for. And in turn, I always tell the person taking the picture to always keep on tapping. Like, don't come and say what when I'm moving, you're doing 1, 2. In that space, I've already done like 150 poses. So what are you doing? What are we really doing here? So I'd always opts for you to keep on tapping while your subject keeps on moving. You get so many options to choose from once this is done. And one thing the influencers don't want you to know is that for that one picture they're posting is 1,000 others that they deleted from their picture. And what do they keep doing? They keep moving. And this gives you like options and variations to work with. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get your pictures in like maybe 3 taps. Well, are you a Naomi Campbell? Even Naomi Campbell says just getting that 3 shot. So just keep on moving to give yourself more options. Also, one important tip I like to give people that find it hard to pose is that when you're taking your pictures, always remember to not stand straight. Now, don't come and stand like a Iroko tree, a bamboo tree planted at the seaside. You should always angle your body in a way that it flatters your body. Now, as opposed to just, maybe standing straight like this, you might want to, angle your body. You might want to, just angle your body to give it that, variation that you might possibly need. Now, standing like this will just doesn't really do anything for your body, to be quite honest. So just find shapes, maybe put one leg forward, one leg back, slouch back, make movement with your head. And what it does is that it just looks better, and it just looks appealing to look at when you create variations and shapes with your bodies, as opposed to just standing there and just looking like a log of wood, quite frankly. Another important tip that I think is very underrated is to always remember to know your angle. Now, before now, I used to think I was Naomi Campbell, I was Beyonce. I'm always like, every angle works. Let's just get into it. Like, I will serve you the angles. But I've realized that every human being has his own better angle. Now, I'm not saying you can't photograph from another angle. I'm just saying that this angle is literally your best angle. And this will save you a lot of stress, especially in those times where you really want to go out and capture your outfit, but you really don't want to be there for a really long time and you just want to get your pictures like over with. What I think you should do, you should just know your angle, in that when you know your angle and you're there in that kind of situation, you can quickly just, get to your poses with your angle and be quickly done with it. We're not trying to figure out our angle by the way, you already know your angle. So when you're there, you just take your pictures and leave. So always remember to know your angle, and you can know your angle by just, if you have a mirror, just go in front of your mirror and, just take a couple of selfies and, just figure out what placement of your face work best. Like I said, practice, because you don't just become a guru or a master poser in one day. Always remember to just practice these things out so it's quicker when you go out to take your picture. One tip when you're taking a sitting down picture is always remember to not completely sit down. Because when you completely sit down, what it does is that it crumples you. It makes you crumpled. It's not a really nice angle to look at. So what you want to do instead when you're taking a sitting down photo is maybe to sit on the edge of the couch and angle your body to the side. So when you're taking sitting down pictures, always remember to not sit down completely, and always make variations with your poses. Now for standing shot, I'll always really recommend you standing on your toes, especially if you're not that tall. Now, people have called this the success cutter pose, and I'll insert a couple of pictures. Especially if you're not using like heeled boots, it's very important that you try and elongate your legs, especially if you're not that tall. Now, what this does is that it gives you height. To be honest, it just gives you height and just makes you look taller than you are not. And it just really looks appealing to look at, and that's what we're going for. We're going to elevate our picture games. So I mean, why not? All right, guys, that is it for today's video. In today's video, I shared with you guys tips and tricks on how to take fire pictures. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big fat thumbs up and subscribe to me. It helps me a lot. And let me know what tips you guys will be trying out today, because I want to see you guys elevate your picture taking skills or take it to the next level. I'm so excited. Until next time, it's bye, guys.